Envie de challenge?
Désir de défi?
Besoin de dépassement?
Intégrez une structure innovante.
Et rejoignez notre co-team.
Leader sur le marché du content analysis.
En open space.
L'innovation est votre moteur?
Et le challenge votre leitmotiv?
Rejoignez les collaborateurs du groupe qui, chaque jour,
Co-invente la plus belle des co-relations clients.
Le content moderator
Est un expert du web 2.0.5.
Il fait preuve d'objectivité subjective.
Et de maturité collective.
Vous devez disposer d'un très bon relationnel.
D'une certaine fermeté.
Et d'une réelle souplesse.
Avec les co-utilisateurs de la communauté.
Vos missions.
Co-piloting projet.
Co-reporting chiffré en back-office.
Front office.
Online.
And offline.
Tout simplement.
Et c'est déjà beaucoup.
Bullshit?
Parce que co-worker,
C'est co-sympa.
J'ai été à l'université, ensuite j'ai un peu voyagé, et puis je me suis arrêtée à Barcelone. Et j'ai commencé à trouver du boulot un peu à droite à gauche, avant d'arriver à Facebook. Je ne peux rien communiquer en rapport sur la compagnie. Rien. Ni comment ça fonctionne, ni nos conditions de travail, ni du salaire, ni le contrat, ni ce qui se passe, ni le contenu. Rien. Donc, tout est à risque. Ça a l'air abstrait comme ça, mais je risque beaucoup et ça peut gâcher ma vie. Enfin, ça paraît gros comme ça, comme si on était dans un film, mais on ne sait jamais. On ne sait jamais et eux, ils ont les moyens de tout et moi de rien, donc c'est pas évident. Facebook a fait un partenariat avec une boîte d'outsourcing et celle-ci s'est mise en quête de rechercher le nombre d'employés voulus et désirés, de les traîner avec les guidelines bien sûr de Facebook. Mais c'était cette entreprise qui gérait tout par rapport aux employés. J'étais content moderator, c'est-à-dire que j'analysais le content à savoir s'il est approprié ou non pour rester sur la plateforme. Une journée type, c'est arriver à l'office, monter à son étage, devoir laisser toutes ses affaires personnelles dans un casier, prendre position sur un ordinateur qui n'est pas personnel, ensuite passer du temps à revoir les décisions qui ont été prises les jours précédents, car il y a toujours un contrôle aussi sur ces décisions-là. Et une fois que ça a été fait, recommencer à modérer du contenu toute la journée. Quand on arrive, on pointe, et d'ailleurs, on ne pointe pas avec un badge, on pointe avec notre empreinte digitale. Le contenu par rapport qu'une personne effectue à Facebook, ça dépend de son rythme, ça dépend aussi de combien de temps elle est là dans la compagnie. Mais je dirais, d'une personne à l'autre, ça doit osciller entre 300 et 600 reviews par jour. Des meurtres, des suicides, des viols, des violences conjugales, du racisme, de la discrimination, du bully, tout. Tout ce qui va... Moi, le pire, je dirais... Ouais, je dirais peut-être les décapitations et le viol de bébés. Ouais, ça, c'est peut-être les choses les plus fortes. Si vous êtes encore un peu naïf, que vous avez une certaine innocence, s'il vous plaît, jamais quoi. N'y allez pas, ne gâchez pas ça. Mais voilà. Parce que oui, tu vas voir des choses que t'as pas envie de voir en fait. Donc ça sert à rien. Une fois que l'innocence, on la retrouve pas. Donc il y avait quand même cet esprit un un petit peu start-up américaine, donc tout à fait, il y avait les sigles Facebook, il y avait toute une salle de jeu. On était un peu dans cet esprit-là. Il y avait un contraste entre ce côté, on fait partie de la communauté pour travailler pour Facebook, c'est grand, connecting people, alors que, une fois lancé, les choses étaient quand même très très cadrées, finalement une liberté qui n'en était pas. Ouais, ça a été quand même une grosse surprise venant d'une grosse multinationale comme ça. Ouais. Il y a des conditions qui sont particulières, comme d'avoir un temps limité pour aller aux toilettes, d'avoir un temps très 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 limité pour déjeuner. C'est 20 minutes pour déjeuner. Et pour aller aux toilettes, c'est dans les 5 minutes de pause qui nous sont accordées chaque heure, qu'on ne peut pas regrouper. Mais bon, je pense que la fonction de modérateur est nécessaire. Je pense vraiment qu'elle est nécessaire, notamment par l'ampleur qu'a pris Facebook. Et si on veut continuer à promouvoir, connecter les gens partout dans le monde, je pense qu'il faut revoir la manière dont on traite les modérateurs et peut-être un petit peu plus cadenasser les règles. Être peut-être un petit peu moins sur les intérêts privés et puis penser plus à la communauté.
My name is Chris. I'm from England originally, and I lived a long time in Asia. And then I came back to Ireland with my new wife, and we needed to find work, and this was the easiest job that I could find. The job title is Community Operations Analyst. It doesn't say anything about Facebook, it doesn't really explain the job. They tell you it's about analyzing trends and recognizing what's happening in the world and implementing standards and so forth. It sounds very exciting. But we're working in a Facebook building. We're using the Facebook systems. I have a Facebook ID. I have documents for Facebook that I have to sign. You're working for Facebook, but there's a gap, I think, and it's just to protect Facebook legally, I think. Most of my work was related to content moderation. So when I started and I was new and they didn't have work assigned for us because they were increasing the number of people, so I was just looking at pornography or material content that people have reported as pornography. So mostly naked ladies. It was my first month was a very pleasant month of work. But then you would see some disgusting animal sex or children or something occasionally. So it was a little bit of a shock. And then later, the priority for the UK team is hate speech, bullying, threats of violence, nasty stuff. And I would spend 6 hours reading arguments between people or complaints about Muslims or black people or English people or French people, just nasty, awful stuff all day. The terrible stuff is the small part. From 500 tickets, maybe only 50 or 5 in one night would be really bad. The majority is just boring, depressing, sad. Kids, especially Instagram, we would be looking at mostly young people just arguing, calling each other names and saying, oh, Julian's got a big bottom, or Julian looks ugly today, just stupid stuff. And you have to decide, well, are they talking to a kid? You can't talk like this to a kid, or you can say this to a kid, you can say this to an adult but not a kid, etc. And it's not, I don't think it hurts so much, I don't think it's so harmful, but it becomes just depressing. Yeah, because you're always seeing the bad side of humanity. You're seeing the low-level, nasty difficult lives that many people lead. So when I started the job, I was kind of excited. I'm saving the world. I'm here to protect the people who use Facebook from bad actors. This is the name we have, people whose actions are bad. So you would just review the content and think about the rules. And after some time, you notice maybe you're agreeing with the content or disagreeing and getting angry. And then after a little bit more time, you're responding more to something bad that you see. Oh God, not this again. Oh, I hate this guy. Why did people do this? And you start to, it's not immediately because you're ready, but over time, it starts to just slap, 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 slap. You start to feel the pain, I think. Oh, for example, you know the terrorist group ISIS, and they will execute people and make the video and put this online. And in a video game, you know, if I shoot you in the head, your head will just boom. And in real life, if you do that with a machine gun, the bullet, it's always from this side, it comes in and the head kind of goes, but all of this side of the face, the skin, is still there, and it blows away and it blows back because of the tension. And the body is just falling to the ground. But what I remember is that the thing that you don't expect. And when you see enough of that, I think after a time, yeah, it's there. I can see every detail, and it comes back, and it's deep in my mind. It's buried in my head. Yeah, it's really, really hard. I have several friends that I worked with before who are now unable to work or not working, can't find a job. They're taking medication, anxiety medication, they're taking antidepressant medication. My doctor told me I'm depressed and I need to take SSRI, Prozac, because she thinks I'm depressed, and I don't believe in these diseases. I don't want to take medicines, but I'm not doing very well either. I've had 3 jobs since I left Facebook. I can't keep a job. I get into arguments with people about nothing. So we need help. We need a professional person to spend some time with us and help us to understand what problems we have and what we can do. The NDA means I can't have this conversation. I can't talk to you. I can't talk to my wife about the work that I do or did. You're not allowed to discuss any detail of anything related to Facebook's operations or Facebook's secret information or your working conditions. It covers everything. It's a gagging order for life. It's a lifetime agreement. Somebody has to speak because we're hidden, we're silent. We are not allowed to have a voice because Facebook wants to protect Facebook. Facebook doesn't want to protect the people that may be harmed. And it was like a light in your head. You just go, wow, yeah, this is the truth. I should ask a lawyer if it's okay.
Initially, I was contacted by Chris, who came to me and explained his work circumstances. It was very easy for me to do the research to see what he was complaining about and to understand and empathise with his position. it was also easy for me to understand his legal rights and how they were infringed by what has happened. And that, of course, will form the basis of the case against Facebook. Through Chris, many more people have come forward, and both male and female. And it's quite clear that a pattern emerged straight away of people who were hurt, people who were injured as a result of what happened to them in their workplace and the many hours they spent doing what they had to do, which unfortunately has led to their damage and will now lead to their vindication of their rights through the courts. It's clear to me that many of the people who moderate and worked as moderators are damaged by what they've seen, they're hurt by it, and they also are afraid to make steps to vindicate their own rights. The purpose of this case is to establish a safe harbour for these people, that they don't have to go up front, that they can vindicate their rights by being within a group and allowing those people who have volunteered to be those lead plaintiffs, to allow them to fight the case on behalf of all. If you look at the workers' rights within the moderator world, they are quite limited. However, the work itself is very demanding and, as will be shown, is quite damaging at times to certain individuals. I think in the computer business and in many other multinational businesses, the idea of denying rights to workers is very prevalent, and that, you know, in this particular instance, it's quite clear that Facebook are seeking to remove themselves from the equation. It's quite clear that those people who do the work do not survive long in the job, and therefore no rights accrue to them because A, they're on agency work, and B, they're not there long enough to claim rights. However, one has to understand that we're talking about people. We're talking about people who want to get on with their lives. And in reality, for me, the use of agency agreements is purely there for Facebook to distance themselves, as indeed many multinationals are doing, to try and deny ordinary people their rights as citizens to partake in long-term security of employment. And it's an unfortunate development in our world, but that's what we have to deal with, and we are dealing with that.
I think if you listen to politicians, nobody is aware of what's being done, what's happening. Because politicians are all complaining about fake news and election integrity and the spread of extremism, etc. There's this problem that they see, and they just shout, "We want a solution." But they don't know anything about the work. They're not talking about, how can we do this? They're just pointing to the social media companies and saying, this is your fault. But they're not engaged with, well, how do you do this? Because to write the rules is really, really difficult. To create a system that enables us to protect you, your children, somebody's bullying your kid, I have to deal with that. Somebody is spreading hateful ideology, I have to deal with it. So instead of shouting about Facebook, why are the politicians representing the public not working with me to say, well, how can we enable you to help people? I tried to think about this as if I'm Mark Zuckerberg. How do you solve this problem? And it's not his problem. His problem is that he has to make money for his shareholders. It's a legal requirement in America. He has to make the maximum profit. So he's not interested in content moderation unless it makes more money. And I never heard anybody talk about how Facebook makes more money because of this.
Waouh, le cliffhanger de dingue.
Passe la télécommande, j'en peux plus. Je vous entends déjà piaffer d'impatience.
C'est quand la suite?
Et l'épisode suivant, c'est pour bientôt?
Et là, j'ai envie de vous répondre.
Hop, 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 hop.
Calmos.
On respire un grand coup.
On prend son mal en patience.
Et on se mate l'épisode final.
À la cool.
À très vite donc.
Pour le season final.
Le retour
de la vengeance.
de la rébellion.
Qui contre-attaque.
D'ici là, cliquez bien.
Bullshit.
Vivement la suite.